Hello, welcome to the Enginerdy Show. This is Mr. Pold, and I've got
St. Jimmy.
what? You are odd today.
Yes. I'm shaven.
Me too. Probably a couple days ago, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I only shave once a week, so.
Me too.
Week. Well, it doesn't grow that fast. And that's light colored, so.
Yeah, I have light colored hairs in my beard too, but they're gray.
So are you gonna play Santa Claus at the church thing this
No,
winter?
I would not be able to grow my beard out more than a week because then it starts itching and I don't
Get
like
extensions, yo. Ooh, a beard tattoo.
it. What if I don't want a beard?
You have to be
But
white.
I
Do they have
don't
white
like shaving.
tattoos?
You'll have to play an elf then.
They just get like a put makeup on.
Makeup?
Have you heard that's a thing now?
No.
Some grooms are actually having makeup applied for their weddings, so they look really
Why?
good in their pictures.
I don't care about the pictures. What?
Nothing.
I heard that brides were sending their bridesmaids to wait
Yeah,
camp.
Cat camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
Whoa.
would.
And disallowing them from wearing bathing suits beforehand, so they don't have tan lines.
Weird.
I would say, well,
So you get this
Thanks
from
for
watching
inviting me.
Bridezilla?
to be,
No,
You're
I
a
heard about it on a
bridesmaid.
podcast.
but I'm not going to do it. That's why I always say.
That's why you always turn down being a
Yeah.
bridesmaid.
It
What
is.
about maid of honor, though?
You get all those offers.
I could be a maid of honor, maybe. I am maid of honor.
You are.
I bleed pride.
DVD. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
That'd be a good movie, Maid of Honor, but M-A-D-E. Be like a war movie.
Okay.
You could tag your wife too, because she wouldn't get it. Until she's there. What?
Wow.
Where does the wedding happen? I don't get it.
Then they just throw a wedding in at the end just to.
Our fake sponsor this week is marathons. Look good while you run further than any normal person should.
I'm not sure I look
Does
good
it
doing that.
make you look good?
If you ever want to be
I
cut
don't
out,
know.
Maybe like 0.01% of the population might look good.
Hey, I look great.
he looks great.
I could be wearing one right now.
TMI, dude. And I'm
Way.
not talking about 3 Mile Island.
Also, too much information.
Yes. What's that Duran Duran song? Too much information for me.
No, I don't know.
So, you guys remember the clearly Canadian fizzy water drinks?
Clearly.
No.
No,
You don't remember that?
No.
No.
Well, now they have Clear American. It's like the Walmart knockoff version. Have you seen those?
No.
It's just like flavored fizzy
Is
water.
it clear?
Yeah.
So I could pretend like I'm drinking water at football practice. No one would know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Canada, I
Eh?
saw a very strange vehicle today from the bus. I looked out the bus, and next to the bus was this little car. I couldn't tell what kind of model it was, but it was probably 30 years old, probably. It
In
was
the
painted
80s?
red and white with a big maple leaf on the hood,
Sure, it's a maple leaf.
and it had a moose for the hood
Oh.
ornament.
Well,
There was a luggage rack on the top with a piece of plywood, and it had a bunch of boxes and a big gas can on the top.
was it in metric?
I don't know, but
Did the license plate start with A?
so I'll get to that. When it finally passed the bus, I was thinking, oh, it's probably going to have a Canadian
License plate.
license plate. No, it had an Oregon license plate,
Really?
and it said Mustang instead of Mustang on the back.
A moose stain? That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
stain.
yeah. I thought that was strange,
That is strange.
especially coming from Oregon.
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 Origami.
Oregon. Oregon.
So, there's this safety newsletter at work that comes out. You can read it on your computer.
I always get paper cuts when I try to read that. Just kidding.
That's why they only do it digital now.
I got
Oh,
a paper
but
cut from MDF.
I got a digital paper cut.
It always really bugs me because It's a scan of a paper copy of the newsletter. So somebody created it on their computer,
Printed it.
printed it,
Scanned it.
scanned it, and uploaded it.
There's no other way to get an electronic copy of it.
What? I feel like calling him and be like, you can just save that as a PDF.
What's a PDF?
Pretty darn fast.
I
I feel patronized.
didn't buy anything from you.
Patronagenized.
Do you guys know what matriculate means?
Patrogenized?
I looked
Isn't
it
it
up
like
today.
when you slowly get better and figure out the system or something?
See, I always heard it in relation to graduation, so I thought it meant to graduate.
I think it's to go from one.
It's
Place
to
to
go
another?
to university.
Oh, really?
So when you hear that at graduation, I'm talking about people that are planning on going from there to university.
Oh.
Weird.
I know. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
The things you don't know that you knew. That you didn't know.
That you didn't want to know?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
I don't know.
It starts M-A, just so you know. I looked at M-E, M-I.
Oh,
It's matriculate.
There's your problem.
Yeah, it's weird.
I always thought it had something to do with maturing. Because
Oh,
it starts with M-A-T.
kind of, I guess, intellectually. Moving on to Universitad
Who's Todd?
Collage. So I heard an interesting thing. There's a scientist that was
Saying interesting things.
he was doing looking into as an experiment. He's actually looking at constants that people are in, like speed of light, gravity, or big G when you're talking the gravitational constant, things like that. And he started looking at history of constants and was going back through books that had changed some of the constants over time, namely the speed of light.
Did we get better at
Fluctuated.
measuring it?
So he asked a metrologist,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy's like, "Oh, you kind of stumbled on one of the embarrassing things that we don't like to talk about." But he's like,
when
we
we
don't.
like when we used to think Pluto was a planet.
But it's not going to change. Speed of light will not change anymore. He's like, well, how can you be sure? Well, because now we base how long a meter is on the speed of light. It's like, wait a minute. That seems not the right way to do it.
Well, what
They measure models.
they're just saying that they had to change it because they redefined the meter.
No, they base the meter on the speed of light now.
Right, but the reason that the speed of light
It's based in
changed
meters per second.
is because they probably changed.
That's not what he said. He said all over the world people were measuring the speed of light and they got a little bit slower. I mean, you're talking minuscule, but enough that it was within their.
Okay.
So sometimes constants maybe aren't as constant as we might believe.
Well, I don't think the speed of light has actually changed. I think probably just
Well, I mean,
people
redshift.
haven't been very good at measuring
Doesn't
it.
redshift kind of postulate that it might be the case that speed of light changes?
No, that's not what it means. It just means the source of the light is traveling away from us.
So, and depending on if your point of view of it,
No,
it appear to be going slower.
no, because the redshift is changing the frequency, not the speed. The frequency of the light determines the color.
Okay. So blues are longer wavelengths. Reds are shorter.
No, it's the
It's
opposite.
the opposite way.
Yeah.
I always think of blue as being cooler and slower.
No, it's more energy.
Yeah, think of like a white dwarf, how it's hotter than like a red
Ooh,
dwarf.
that
bluer.
hot white.
What do you think is the hottest dwarf? Let's talk about the hottest dwarf. Go. Dog.
Gotta be Dinklage.
Dog.
He's smart. Tell this is attractive.
Bashful, obviously.
Sneezing.
I guess I walked into that one, huh?
Yeah.
That went badly. All I know is a scientist said the speed of light was measured to be different over time.
I
Not
think
the
that's
metrologists don't
probably
want to believe
errors in the measurement system, not in this be
But we have
changing.
the same people measuring it all over the world in different locations, and they're changing the same. That seems weird.
Interesting. So I had a thought for our logo.
Oh, logo.
It got lackluster.
Oh, that's a way to lead with the.
Well, I was thinking you could have like one of the Three Amigos sombreros,
The Toyota symbol.
but instead of having these, they could have a symbol on it that represented each of us. Like mine could have like a windmill, and you could have like a Bigfoot in the embroidery, and Mr. Pold could have like a Vulcan salute or something.
Would our faces be in the sombreros?
No, it's like a logo. It's not a picture of us. It would just be a sombrero.
So it looks like the Toyota symbol. I know people think of that as old. I always look. It looks like it's sombrero looking on a dude.
Well, it would look more hat-like. You would be able to tell that it was a sombrero. Anyways, that was an idea I came up with. That it's still getting lackluster response. So,
I'm trying to picture it and figure out how I.
well, yeah. Look at this picture. See how it's got.
But you
the
wouldn't be able to tell that's a
embroidery?
sombrero.
Well, it would have
Like
to
an
be
oval.
drawn in.
Problem with sombreros, you
AutoCAD
can't
or
see the
something.
top of it very easily and the bottom.
Well, maybe you could look. Maybe it would be more looking down, and it would have embroidery around the top instead of the bottom. Something like that. Okay. Anyways,
That was random.
back to
That
the
was
show.
funny.
So I had a weird dream last night.
What?
The Fonz was in my dream.
Nice.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, and he said that to me, and I went, "Hey," and we were friends.
Nice.
We were friends. That was-
Henry
we
Winkler.
were friends. No, it was the Fonz. I did not dream about Henry Winkler. I dreamed about
That'd be weird
the
if you did.
Fonz. Well, I watched it when I was a toddler.
That was your favorite
Happy
theme song
days.
for a while.
Yes, it was.
That's how you learn the days of the week.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that they're all happy days.
Every day.
Except for Monday.
Yeah, there have been enough songs refuting Monday.
Yeah.
So I made
Manic Monday.
for when I'm in a bad mood at work, I took one of my large sticky notes and drew a big toothy grin on it so I can just be smiley.
Oh, interesting.
And then after I made an eyeball to put over my closed eye, I was told that was creepy. And I thought it'd be great to make a whole mask of my face smiling and my eyes open. And just put it on and then just take a nap.
There you go.
People might be freaked out a little bit. What's wrong with
He's wearing a
Monty?
face. Someone else's face.
It'd be funny. Put it upside down on accident. It'd be creepy. Or backwards.
His face is backwards.
You can't sneak up on him. You'll see you coming. Be weird.
Yeah. Looks like Voldemort's growing out of the back of his
Yeah,
head.
that'd be cool. I have to wear
Wear a
the turban. Keith Turban. Is that a person?
No.
Keith Urban?
Oh.
Carl Turban?
There you go. It's the actor, right? From Red?
The bones from the new Star
Yeah,
Trek.
that guy.
Oh, man.
I got a new phone.
Oh, did you? Again?
No, I haven't
Oh.
talked about it.
It's not new anymore then.
But I made it so I could open it with my fingerprint.
Oh, I wish I had fingerprints. Just kidding.
I lost them in the war.
I've got finger princesses
Oh,
Okay.
it's unfortunate.
instead of fingerprints.
Yes, I get it.
Oh.
That means you have woman hands.
Oh, I have womanly hands.
Oh, they're so soft.
Alright, this is getting really weird.
Well,
I told you it was going to happen.
David warned us that he was
Yeah.
especially weird today.
I think it's a mixture of physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion,
Spiritual exhaustion.
car exhaustion.
Metaphysical.
Exhaustion.
So I came up with a new swear word replacement. the word aft can be used to great effect.
And get your aft over here?
Yes.
Hmm.
See?
Yeah.
Works really good.
Interesting.
I even said to somebody, you know what happens when you assume? He's like, yeah. Yeah, you make an aft out of you and me.
Isn't that aftoon?
Way to explain the joke. Good job.
Well, you know what happens when you wear costumes. You make a cost out of me and you. Wait. You and me.
You and me, me and you, so happy together.
Should we move on to nerdiculture? Do we have
Please.
more?
No, please move on. This is going nowhere fast. I'm flat tired of it.
Flat tired.
Let's kick the show in the aft and move it along.
Okay. So, as many of you may know, when this show airs, it'll be the day before the eclipse, or
The total eclipse.
Armageddon,
The North
as it's
American
otherwise known
eclipse.
as.
Total eclipse of my heart. So LFG asked
Okay, body tired.
in a company meeting today, he's going to be on the East Coast for the eclipse.
Is he gonna be in South
And
Carolina?
someone said what time he was going to. Well, someone said it was going to be a certain time where we're at. I want to know what time it was going to be there, and he's like, "Well, based on time zones, it's probably going to be the same time." Right? Because it's going to move across the country.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like,
I don't know if it's at the same rate.
depends on where you are in the time zone.
"That's true, it does." How much does it vary across the time zone, though?
No,
I did not research that.
There you go. So if you know about what it is,
So, do you know the reason that we have total eclipses?
because we have a moon.
Well, what's special about our moon?
It's the same size as the sun.
It is not the same size as the sun.
In the relation.
The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, but the
But
moon
that's
is
all?
400 times closer.
Right. I was going to say that.
So they
I made this
appear,
point
they have the
before.
same apparent.
And then St. Jimmy told me that
Diameter.
the moon's getting closer. So it
No, it's
doesn't really
actually
make
moving
sense.
further away.
Or whatever. So it's changing distance.
So in
So I
600
told him that it
million
can't be. The
years,
moon's a constant.
like the speed of light.
in 600 million years, it will not completely block the sun anymore because it's moving like an inch and a half a year.
We
Well-
should speed that along and just fire it at the sun.
The
See what
moon's
happens.
orbit isn't circular, so
Right, sometimes
sometimes
you get an annular eclipse where you
It
have a
doesn't
ring
totally
of fire
block it.
around the
Just don't
sun.
want an annular one.
that's just when the moon is on fire.
Well, in 600 million years, all the eclipses are going to be annular ones
Sweet.
because it won't completely
I
block
can't
the sun.
wait.
I don't think that's true. I think at that point we'll have tethered it to the Earth.
Well, in the distant past, that means that there were not ever any annular
It's
eclipses.
just really dark.
Right?
I heard that it's going to make it look like there's a sunset around the entire horizon.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So,
I can't wait to lose my vision looking at it.
I found some myths that I thought was interesting. One of the myths that's being put out by
Is the Earth will
Some
be destroyed unless you
organization
sacrifice a virgin?
is that you should not eat any food on the day of the eclipse, or a demon will possess you.
Wait, that's a myth?
Yes,
I'm totally changing my plan.
Wait,
I'm not
so
gonna have lunch.
people are gonna fast the whole day?
a few people.
A few. Well, they deserve to go hungry.
Yes, that's it. You're gone the whole day without food because you believe that eating today will.
Next, you're going to tell me it's not good luck to hold your breath in a bridge under a tunnel.
You also shouldn't hold your breath during the partial eclipse.
You'll pass out.
You also will not get food poisoning if you leave food out during the eclipse.
What?
I think that could depend on the circumstances.
Oh, okay.
If we leave it up till the next eclipse, probably.
No, there's people that think that there's some kind of strange radiation that only happens when the eclipse
How
is
would that
happening.
happen?
There's less radiation.
Not that much. Less. Really.
Well, think about it. When it's a total eclipse and the sun's completely blocked, you can look at the eclipse and not have any damage to your eyes.
Right.
if there's even 1% of the sun showing, you could have damage to your eyes. And that's not a myth.
That's not what optometrists are saying. They're making it sound like if you
If
even
you look
glance at it, it's
yes,
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
be blind.
you're
But I'm
gonna be
like,
blind.
treat it like you would the normal sun.
So,
So you guys never had competitions as kids to see who could look at the sun the longest?
no.
This explains a lot.
That's why you have cataracts, dude.
I don't have cataracts.
Yeah,
Say Jimmy. Oh, wait.
You will soon.
you will be.
So we have contact lenses and you guys don't?
Maybe.
It could be.
No.
Anecdotally, I read an anecdote from some.
Almost got a spit take.
Really?
A guy and his friend who were around during the last eclipse
Walked
and
into a bar.
saw the eclipse, like the partial eclipse. Him and his friend had a contest to stare at the partial eclipse, and they stared at it for several minutes. Well,
But the pain's not there, what I've heard.
Well, there's no pain receptors in your retina. So, a few hours afterwards is when they started noticing that
The
there's a
demons.
spot in their
The
vision
demons.
that is constantly
passed it.
blurry. And it's been that way for the last almost 40 years.
Well,
And it's never going to go away.
And you can't surgically repair that.
No,
Get a new retina.
not with current
I
technology.
think they do retina replacements.
I don't think so, Tim.
To the internet.
So we were in a safety meeting today, and our
Talking about the eclipse.
We talked about ours,
our
too.
div head was there,
Oh, I don't have safety meetings.
and he said that when he was at the store buying eclipse glasses, people in the store were like, "Oh, you need special glasses to look at the partial eclipse?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, you can't just like look through your sunglasses?" And he's like, "No, that's not enough protection." And I guess he was talking about there was stuff posted that you could. People were talking about looking at it through binoculars,
Looks really cool.
or if you have like a camera, you can't look through the camera directly because the light's just going straight through.
You can't if you have a digital camera.
Well, like your wife's digital camera, she can't look through the viewfinder at the sun because it's an SLR.
But like your cell phone camera?
Your cell phone, you could probably look at your cell phone screen with it pointed at the sun.
Oh, I was thinking of the cornea. They can do cornea.
You can also make a pinhole camera.
That's
how to
only
do
for
that?
pinheads.
We bought our viewing glasses months ago.
You know what? I'm going to be at work.
We're
I
going out.
probably will forget
We're going
that
out
it's even
to visit
happening
something.
and just
One
work
of-
right through it and realize, what's that? There's something today? Oh, well.
We're
One
going
of
to
my
go to
coworkers has a pair of glasses that we're going to share.
I'm bringing 4 pairs to work.
Oh?
I can pick my best friends.
So, let's see.
There'll be lots of pictures of it
here's another
afterwards.
Here's
Video,
another
I'm
one.
sure.
If you're pregnant, you should wear red because that protects the baby from the eclipse.
It protects the baby from the eclipse.
Yes, if you wear
Well,
red.
Actually, if you
Wow.
wear tight-fitting clothing and you're pregnant, it protects you from the virgin sacrifices that certain ancient
Well,
peoples
if
used
you're
to do.
pregnant, it's pretty safe bet you're probably not a virgin.
Well, there's one of them, I guess.
You don't need glasses for your pets because they're
Is it
smart
like-
enough not to
is it
stare
like-
at it. That's what. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they're not smart enough not to stare at it. But,
What if you force them to stare at it?
well, then
Good luck forcing
you
an animal
are
to
a
look at what you
sadist.
want.
Yeah.
You can't give your animals
Exactly.
look. Maybe hold a dog treat between them and this.
So, do you know when the next eclipse that's going to cross America is going to be?
2074.
2074?
Just take off
2074.
the 4.
20 and 70.
70,
April
I said
8th.
74.
April 8th, 2024.
Oh,
Oh,
only
that's not
50
that
years
far
off.
off.
And it's going to cross from Texas through Maine.
Weird.
I like this one better.
There's going to be 4 additional ones after that.
Why don't
this
they name
century. That'd be a good idea, huh? March 30th, 2033. August 23rd,
The last one was in the 70s,
2044.
right?
August 12th, 2045. Those are about a year apart. And March 30th, 2052.
Is there a 74 in there?
No, mine doesn't go. I didn't write down that
No,
far.
so it could be.
Possibly, but who knows?
When was the last one?
1979 in the U.S. This is all U.S. There's total eclipses that happen like every 18 months or less around the globe.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't think it's that common of an occurrence.
Well, a lot of
Maybe
times
just
it happens
one
over the ocean.
Right.
Stupid ocean.
So people should drive
Great
to the
Britain's
ocean.
only had like 6 in the past 500
They're
years.
small.
It's a small country, yeah.
It's like, how many does Rhode Island had?
None. Oh. Uh-oh.
They don't deserve one.
How many does the moon had?
1 a month.
It's quite common. The night sky's darker for once a month.
But it could get...
Wouldn't it be funny if there was something anti-werewolf that only turned into a thing during new moons? It would turn into a puppy. The dogs turn into people.
There you go.
That'd be weird.
There's your next story.
A werehuman?
So, in a
Were
totally...
means man. To be a wolf wear.
Wolf wear?
Check out our fall line of wolf wear.
What's your wolf wearing this?
Is it a...
New moon?
Never mind. That didn't make sense.
You can't say it on the show.
Probably not. No. That's not what it was. So
He's talking
it
about
should
his
get
aft.
dark enough that you can see some of the brighter stars. And...
Like Will Smith? Madonna? I should probably update my big star list.
I wouldn't say she's the brightest.
Rihanna?
Right. Maybe like, oh, I had it and then I lost it.
Don't say Bill Nye.
How bright
No,
are
I
you?
wasn't going to say Bill Nye. It was going to be somebody else. I don't remember now.
Gary Oldman.
Is he smart?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's a really good actor.
Oh, I was going to say Ben Stein.
Oh,
He's very smart.
So they have these things that you start seeing a couple minutes before the total eclipse called shadow bands.
Demons.
It's something that you can't... It's not...
Taco cats.
What? You just saying random words now?
yes,
I'm guessing what we're going to
he's
see.
lost it.
No, they're like these little wavy black lines on the ground or something.
Those are snakes.
But
It's
you
just
can't
too
photograph them because there's not enough contrast.
Can you video them?
I don't think so.
Shadow bands.
Can you
So,
sketch them?
Probably.
No, it's impossible.
There's got to be a picture of one.
He just said you can't take a picture of it. Eclipse shadow bands.
Looks like you can.
Well, this is just according to what I read.
Well, probably not with a normal camera. You have to have a special one.
You also can't get a good picture of the eclipse.
Well, it's like trying to take a picture of the moon. Take special filters and stuff because the moon's way too bright. Even
Right.
as I discovered trying to take pictures of on our off-roading trip.
Oh.
It's like on a permit.
So, I read
Weird.
that there's 7 million people that live within the band. That's of the...
There's going to be way
Total
more than
eclipse.
that during the
But there's a lot of people traveling there. I've already seen pictures of traffic jams on freeways headed to Idaho and Oregon.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and we're still
It's
4
a
days
long way.
away.
Still a few days away,
It's a long trip.
yeah.
Loading lanes are packed full.
And I'm sure it's the same way across Tennessee and South Carolina and Missouri and Wyoming and those places that are also going to have it.
Hmm.
But places are increasing their rent or their, the
Yes.
cost of feed.
Capitalizing.
Yes.
Supply
Higher
and demand.
demand. Yep. Increased demand. or
I
decrease
read
supply?
something. One website was telling you how to prepare for the total eclipse, and it was
Buy
saying
candles.
to make sure you have sunscreen. And I'm like, huh? How does that make sense?
You can
put
be
it
outside.
You put it on your
And
eyes.
it's like,
to make
because you may be outside all day. And I'm thinking, oh, they must be talking about people that are traveling
no,
and are going to be in
you
the
squirt it in your
eclipse
eyes
again.
so you can look at the sun.
Oh, there you go. You just rub it in your eyes.
You're gonna
Have
be
you guys ever had sun blisters on your eyes?
No.
we're not.
I have.
That's because you were staring into the sun as
No.
a kid. Oh.
It was weird. It was a bump on the white part of my eye.
Oh, wow, I've never had that.
And I saw an optometrist today. I was like, oh, yeah, you just basically that part of your eye got a little bit sunburned.
Weird.
And he said, you should wear sunglasses. So I do.
So now he wears them at night, too.
Most people blink enough
I
that
don't. Well, you know me. I have a hard time with my
autonomous collectives.
the nervous system part that does its own thing.
Automatic stuff.
Yeah, like breathing,
You
blinking.
forget to breathe.
Yes.
It's when you're thinking. You can
It
tell
is.
when you're thinking because you just
Stop breathing.
stop breathing, your heart stops pumping.
I was doing some construction, building a new subwoofer enclosure for my car, and I was purposefully thinking about breathing when I was doing intricate cut work, because usually, which I was able to work for 5 hours straight, pretty much, without
Wow.
getting sick like I normally do because of lack of oxygen. I had to stop putting together those little metal puzzle things.
Because you hold your breath.
Yeah. After an hour and a
You're
half, I was like,
concentrating.
I don't feel good. Or playing video games. I used to have a problem not blinking, playing like, and all of a sudden I can't. I have to put the controller down because my eyes are like watering. It's not that sad of a game. It's Call of Duty.
It's so sad. Pong.
It's just me.
I guess depending on the time of year, you could have clouds start forming suddenly because the temperature drops enough that it gets close enough to the dew point.
There's a certain place in Idaho I've heard that the meteorologists, not meteorologists, that'd be weird if they were trying to predict the weather. We're saying that they're anticipating cloud cover over eastern Idaho.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that purchased, pre-planned and purchased places to stay in. They're not going to have an easy time seeing it. Purchase a giant fan.
Is that going to work?
No.
How big a fan would you need?
Like the biggest fan.
Just
To reverse polarity.
the polarity on the windmills.
The whole ice
Yeah,
cold
I guess there
windows.
is a bunch of scientists at an observatory that were planning to
They
watch
should-
an eclipse in Siberia. And when the partial eclipse started, a bunch of clouds rolled in and
Oh, yeah.
blocked it.
Oops.
So.
It'll be weird.
Is there? What's going to be the side effect of all these people traveling?
There won't be very many people here where we are.
I
and
bet
I'll be
there's a
very
couple
happy.
people that get injured from heat stroke. A lot of people are going to be running out of gas on the freeway. If you want to see like a modern day, like Walking Dead freeway situation,
Yeah,
this could be it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you can film post-apocalyptic movies
Yeah.
during the
Oh, they should have
traffic
planned for that.
jams.
Yes.
And then the traffic jams from everyone heading home,
Right,
but they're all
because-
blind, so they keep crashing into things.
The demons are taking control too
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because they were eating something.
And all the pregnant women that didn't wear red.
I
Yeah.
know, their babies are going to be blind when they're born. Or have 3 limbs
Have no eyes at all.
instead of 4.
Yeah.
I saw you doing the math.
5 limbs. Let's do boy.
6 limbs, they're an insect.
Not again.
Help me!
Aunt one. Aunt Rhonda. It's an arachnid.
Oh boy. Alright, that's all I had for nerdiculture.
Cool. Don't look at it through binoculars.
Or telescope. Or without. Or
Don't
you're
stare
having
at it.
scope.
I think if you just put your hand and cover the bright part, you're probably okay.
Why can't it happen at like sunset so that. Because you can look at the sun then, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
So why don't we just do a thicker atmosphere?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
let's pump
we're
carbon
trying.
dioxide into the
We're
atmosphere.
working on it.
It hasn't been much of an effect.
If you pump enough of it.
Who's to say that
Let's
Earth's
just pump carbon into the atmosphere.
Let's do that. Diamond shooting.
I like graphite.
Oh, we talked about that giant asteroid they found, right? That's like 17, some huge number worth of minerals.
17 is a really huge number.
I was trying to think of what the number is. Like, I can't remember what it was. It was a weird one. But it was like,
Google Plex.
$1
yeah. It was
trillion
like
worth of precious
18
metals.
zeros or something ridiculous like that worth of money.
Pennies?
Yes, if you made it all into pennies. No, it was like full of like,
What was it called? Precious ore
yeah.
meteor.
Anyways, let's go on to Technergy.
Precious ore meteor price.
Some information for what are meteorites worth? According to geology.com, a prime
So
Depends on if
these
they're made of kryptonite or not.
researchers at Boise State University have been researching these.
Santa Claus.
Researching Santa Claus.
They're researching
For
these.
those not watching, because you can't see the screen, there's a guy with a huge
Yeah, one of the
beard.
researchers
Looks like Santa.
has a Mr. Pold beard.
What? If I grew it out?
Yeah.
It's only a model.
No, they're these proteins called nullimers, which what they are is they're basically strands of DNA that have a code that does not exist.
Is it dino DNA?
No, it's a short section of code that does not appear anywhere in the human genome.
Those are codeine.
It's alien code.
No, but
Vegetable.
basically they've been,
Vegetable.
for the last,
Mineral.
I don't know, 10 years maybe, they've been looking for the shortest sequences that don't appear in the genome. And they figured out that's kind of how your immune system works, is it looks for short sections that it doesn't recognize and attacks it. Well, what they did is they took some of these nullimers and they got the, there's a thing called the
Santa Claus.
NCI 60. It's a panel of 60 different types of cancer cells.
Are you sure it's not NIC, like St. Nick?
No, it's right there.
KUIMUSC.
Anyways, they were testing them against this panel of cancer cells. It's like this standard panel of 60 types, and then also against 4 types
Wood
of
paneling.
non-cancerous human cells.
You want to put that panel on your side of your truck?
Yeah. Anyways, they found that 2 of their nullimers were effective in killing 58 of the 60 types of cancer cells.
Oh,
Cool.
And then
What's it do to the person?
they tested against the 4
Superpowers.
normal cell lines, and they didn't kill those.
what about the perpendicular?
Here's the normal ones are fine.
Okay.
Normal means perpendicular. Anyways, so they basically, what this means is that these would work in fighting cancer cells that are resistant to what we're using now, like chemotherapy. And
If it's successful, can we use those in lieu of some other treatments that are bad for the person?
yes, that's what they're saying, is that
What I heard is the eclipse is a good time to kill.
anyways, so it's effective against lots of different types of cancers that don't have good treatments right now. So it's
Don't
pretty
my
cool.
kids move out of the house?
No, maybe. Are they still here because they have cancer, or there's
They
a
are
cancer on your lifestyle? Anyways,
How many people were born in that month that are cancers?
When is
Can we eliminate them?
it's right before Leo.
Oh, I was almost a cancer.
Yeah, you were. You missed it by only a few days.
You'd be malignant.
Thank you.
Anyways, I thought the article was pretty cool because it talked about how they got the normal cell lines and how they treated them to, so they would grow I didn't know about this, but it said they basically treated them all with like bovine fetal serum.
Yummy.
I guess cells really like that stuff, but it's pretty cool. So they said they're within a few years of doing like human trials and stuff, and they also have almost 200 more of these nullimers that they're going to be testing.
I think you can combine them with normal trials. So if you get found guilty, congratulations, you're done with this trial, but now you're in this other trial. We're going to test these drugs on you.
Oh, that's a good idea. No, I don't think that testing drugs on prisoners is probably not very ethical.
Can we test the eclipse on prisoners?
Yeah. Okay, everybody stare at the sun.
Okay, you group over here aren't going to eat.
We don't want you to get possessed by demons.
Most of you are going to see if you get possessed by demons.
Now, anybody that's already possessed by a demon, let us
Get a
know.
third group. We don't want to
Make
put
sure
you
you're
in that
red.
demon group.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Are you saying
I'm not saying that
If
your
your
child
mom-
is a demon.
If your mom didn't wear red, well,
You turned into a demon in the womb. I'm sorry. Wait, I know people that were born in 1979.
me too.
In the last eclipse, the total eclipse came across
Weird.
America.
one of our siblings?
Or siblings. Oh, is it news time?
Yeah, that's the news.
No,
That's not how that goes.
Oh,
the news
So-
is coming.
and now the news.
Yeah, there you
A
go.
group of scientists in Australia are developing a pill that will help people eliminate their peanut allergies.
Oh, sweet. So you can eat
And
peanuts on
with
airplanes again?
Yeah, but the trials right now, when they give people allergic to peanuts these pills that include probiotics and small things of peanuts,
Oh,
they eventually build up immunity like everyone else does that eats peanuts when they're small.
so the way they fed it to them is they hid it in some peanut butter.
Right.
Oh, wait.
They spread it between crackers.
That's
So that'd be cool if
Yeah.
they could do that. It's almost like I don't know, like a lot of allergies you can get over by exposing yourself slowly to them, so your body can build up its.
Like an
Proper
allergy to
polymers.
arsenic.
Or that poison in the Princess Bride.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. What was it called?
It was tasteless and
It was arithmetic.
That's so rude to say about the movie Princess Bride.
I'm talking about the book.
Iocane powder.
I can't tell.
There you go. Good job.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Is the Dread Pirate Roberts a real thing?
I don't know. We'll find out.
How do you consider real? Because it was created by somebody, and it's now a thing that's out there.
Is iocane powder real?
Purely
Apparently, the
fiction.
movie is purely fiction.
Oh, really?
Oh, the
Since
movie
when
Poison is purely fiction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want people trying to mimic that with real poison. We should start selling iocane powder, sports drink mix.
Okay.
We call it brain food. Be
Sure.
funny. In other news, in
They
Arkansas,
call it inconceivable.
A
List of
lorry
fictional toxins on Wikipedia.
got in an accident.
A lorry?
It was a British article
What
about
about Hardy?
Arkansas. So they
Oh, wait,
not
that's
lorries,
Laurel.
it's a semi-truck.
Oh, I know.
But it got in an accident on the freeway.
Is that
And
Hugh
it was-
Laurie?
It was not. But it was, what was that company?
Wait, so you're saying if Hugh Laurie was American, his name would be Hugh Truck?
Yes, semi.
No, it would be
Hugh
huge.
Semi?
Huge truck.
Huge?
Huge truck. Huggy truck.
Huggy Bear?
His name would probably be Tim or something.
They call
Tim
me
Truck.
Tim.
So anyways, this truck got in an accident and spilled a whole load of frozen pizza all over the freeway.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that in the news.
Nice.
That'd be funny. How many people stopped and picked them up and took them home, do you think? It'd be like Homer when he found that sugar truck that was spilled, and he collected all the sugar and was selling it, but it had like road debris in it. He was charging more than normal sugar cost.
That's awesome.
Anyway, I thought it was funny that pizza got spilled.
Yeah.
I saw a news story.
What?
That's a
There's-
news story.
There was a guy in Australia
I don't believe it.
that was driving in a Jeep in some secluded area with can't remember if it was his girlfriend or his wife, but they got in some
Hopefully
argument.
not both.
Yeah, that
Both
really
on both
caused
of
an
them.
argument.
No, some kind of argument, and they stopped the Jeep, and they both went off in different directions,
Okay.
which is not a good idea in the Australian outback.
No.
Anyway, the woman walked 2 or 3, maybe 4 miles to some place and got rescued, and so then they mounted a search for the husband, and they found the Jeep right away, but they couldn't find him, and they were using like this high-tech infrared thing to try to find him. So they figured, oh, he must be dead. Well, they did eventually find him. The reason their infrared thing didn't work was he had buried himself in the sand to stay warm during the night. He learned it from watching Bear Grylls.
Oh, cool. I thought you were going to say there was an alien predator and he
No.
covered himself in mud
No,
to
but
evade his
he was only
infrared.
2 miles from the Jeep. So
When?
he survived because he watched a
Which
show
one of
with
them?
a survival
Which
guide.
one of them took the keys with them?
Oh, I don't know.
Because
So if you're ever driving in the outback, and do not separate yourself from your vehicle.
I heard about a similar story about a couple that was up in Alaska and did that, and when they found the husband, he had cut open a caribou and climbed inside.
Nice.
And
He learned that from Star
he
Wars.
thought they smelled bad on the outside. Did you do it with the lightsaber?
Yeah.
All he had was
He
a
had-
lifesaver,
he
so
had
it took,
a
a lot of,
key-
it took a lot of effort.
He had a
sucked on it
keychain.
until it got sharp,
Sharp,
and then he used that thing cut open, and the
Uh,
caribou kept saying, "What
What
are you doing? Come on, come
Which is
on!"
amazing because there's no talking caribou.
Are you kidding me?
Those caribou aren't
I'm
that
the
big.
only talking caribou in the world, and you're cutting me open?
With a lightsaber.
Just love to hear people mispronounce science fiction words. You just like, or one of the worst Star
Like
Wars
Vulcan.
descriptions I've ever heard.
Mon.
Oh, you haven't seen Star Wars? Well, it takes place in the future. I was like, whoa.
You obviously didn't watch the first.
It does
Opening
not take
sequence.
place in the future. I guess it's the future compared to something, but it's all about perspective.
Maybe the narrator's from our distant future.
The year 2000.
Yes.
Instead of the distant past, the year 2000.
If you want to support the Enginerdy Show, go to
I guess I'm done with the
theenginerdyShow.com.
news.
Yes, you are. You are done, sir.
Once you're there, you can
Let's I could talk
buy
about it on
a
consumption.
T-shirt or click through our Amazon link that's up in the top right corner and do your Amazon shopping.
At Walmart.
Do all your shopping at Walmart.
You guys are being counterproductive.
Just a little bit.
I mean, do it all at Amazon. That's what I meant.
Yes, but click through our site first. Once you do it once, you just bookmark it and then use your bookmark to get
Make
there.
sure you use their www.
I know some of our
I don't
listeners
think
have
you
had
have
a
to do
hard
that.
time getting it to work. Well,
What?
suck it up, Buttercup. Just do it. Just kidding.
Tough it up, Buttercup.
Shall we do some consumption?
I guess this is probably gonna be our shortest.
It looks super
Consumption
short,
ever.
and my consumption is actually
Well, that's what happens when I coach football.
my consumption is actually LFG's consumption.
You're still in
Because
consumption.
I got home from work, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you got to see this," and he had watched the entire season of this show. Granted, the episodes are very short, but it's on Amazon Prime.
Roll out.
It's called Villagers in Minecraft.
Oh, I think I've
I've seen it
that
on YouTube. I thought.
Anyway,
somewhere.
LFG thought it was hilarious, and he was kind of disappointed that I wasn't laughing as loud as him, but I had a lot of stuff going on when I first
You have
got
a
home.
decibel meter or something?
What?
He was critiquing the loudness of your laughter.
No.
Oh, I've got more
I
than that.
didn't find it as amusing as he found it, I guess.
Okay.
But I wasn't paying as much attention because I had stuff I was trying to get done.
Oh. Okay.
But
I said something.
it's basically an animated show about villagers in the game Minecraft. And they do completely silly things, and they all talk with the same exact monotone voice.
Yeah.
And it's It's amusing.
Do you guys know what's coming out on Friday?
You?
The Defenders.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's happening
On
this weekend.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So is that a movie or a series?
Series.
I don't know. Series. It's totally serious.
Siri. Is it a series?
Oh, not the Siri.
I don't know. Siri.
Alexa, purchase marshmallows. Yes.
I watched The Great Wall, which
Oh, I love that movie.
has Matt Damon in
Yes, that's good, isn't it?
it. It was
Is that the one with the
Pretty
potatoes?
good.
Just
Willem
kidding.
Dafoe's in it, isn't he?
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I didn't
Does he play the Green
recognize him
Goblin?
at first. Pretty much.
Or Clark?
Griswold. Kent.
Clark.
John Clark. Oh, I didn't recognize him at first because it kind of shows him from far away, and then when it finally shows him close up, I'm like, oh, it's Willem Dafoe. I was like, you didn't notice him before? It's like,
Well, I
Did you
just looked
respond-
at it in the clips. I
Didn't
don't have
respond
the-
to her. At least I knew that one movie was animated from the beginning.
What?
Didn't your wife go like 30 minutes into that, what is it called? Final
Fire
Fantasy
Express?
movie? Not
Oh.
knowing that it was animated?
I don't know.
I remember you telling that story.
Sounds like something.
There's a lot of movies that are animated these days.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, Transformers,
Anyways,
Planet of the Apes.
it's pretty good. It's different. It's some movies start off by telling you it's based on a true story. And this one basically starts off telling you it's not a true story.
It's because people are having a fit.
But I thought it was pretty good. There was
It doesn't even say it's in China.
Yeah, it could be in Mexico.
It could
it's
be on a
true,
different planet,
except
different
they're
universe.
speaking Chinese through the whole movie.
So,
But-
they speak English in Star Wars.
Yeah, so there.
It's dubbed. Some of them speak English.
Yeah.
Anyways, Great
So,
Wall. It's
do
in
they ever,
Redbox.
dubstep music over the normal music? For sure, never mind. Okay.
No, but they do
Probably
Gangnam
on
style,
Netflix or on
The what?
YouTube.
Oh.
Gangnam style or whatever.
Oh. We're done.
That's all I had.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. So I went with Mr. Pole to see The Dark Tower.
Yes, I saw it twice.
When I saw how long it was, I was like, oh, an hour 36. That's not very long. But it was very tight. They kept it very good.
Yes, very efficient.
And to all you people out there that don't or give it bad ratings, I just think it's lack of intelligence that you don't get it. Which is not my opinion. I think, well, they obviously didn't get it.
Now, I have to admit, on the second viewing, I saw even more Easter eggs than on the first viewing.
I saw quite a few myself.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. I thought, like, the Pennywise thing.
Yeah, there's one point where I lean over to David and I'm like, that says Pennywise!
I was like, I know.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was from. But I thought it was it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, the first time I watched it, I
Didn't read it.
saw the letters, but I didn't think about it.
I thought all the acting was good.
Yeah.
I think Matthew McConaughey does a really good job
Mm-hmm.
as a villain. He didn't have a shirt off at all, which is kind of weird.
And he didn't fall fully dressed into a pool.
Yeah, but you had your shirt off. So
I did, so that made it better.
It was kind of awkward in the theater, but there weren't many people in the theater, so
TV taught me a good way to sneak in hot tamales in your pocket. Because I put it in my cargo pants and it's making all kinds of noise. Just put like 3 tissues on the top of the box. I was like, oh, it works perfect.
I
Try
just,
it if you're listening, theater. I snuck candy in your
I just
theater.
hide them in my cheeks.
Little boxes. You want one?
I just lick them all and stick them in my hair.
You have really red hair.
And you put a cat
Are you a
beanie
ginger?
over it.
And for instance, like 2 liters of soda and some fried chicken in the theater. They were skaters, so in the 90s, skaters wore really baggy pants. I mean, they were
Uh-huh.
like big, not like bell bottoms because they were that width all the way up. But they like strapped with their belts, the 2 liters, to their calves.
2 liters. Oh, goodness.
Like, remember how they got the chicken in, but
They do have dinner theaters where you can
that
order
sounds
food at
horrible. But
theaters.
from what I heard at those places, it's distracting because not all the food is delivered before the movie.
Mm.
So there's wait staff coming in.
That's why I just watch movies at home.
See,
We couldn't.
see,
I mean, we had
you
the
should
theater,
have came
but
with us
there's
because
nobody there.
there was nobody in the theater except
Yeah.
us. So I guess someone came in right before
But
the movie
They
I
were
started.
wasn't
there at the
invited
end.
though, so
So I don't know if they.
When did
You
y'all
didn't invite him?
go see it?
Friday?
That's Friday.
I had in-laws here.
Yeah, that's why we didn't invite
And it
you.
was at the one you probably want to watch it, that one anyways.
The one here in town.
Yeah, the one I can walk to if I wanted to.
Well, you could walk further if you wanted to.
But I'm not going all the way to the one that has the reclining seats walking. That takes
Well,
forever.
see, I usually go there because it's the same distance for me, either one.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same
I
price.
like that one. So I finished the second season of Last Chance U. I think I talked about the first season last week.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the same opinion that most people is that head football coach is a jerk and has some major psychological problems.
Just like Mr. Poles.
What? I do not have.
But
I'm not a jerk.
it's a really good show. Actually, I paused at one point because I cheated and I looked up on Facebook where some of the players, or on Facebook, Google, where some of the players had ended up. The best part, I think, of the show is there's a lady there that is their academic advisor that helps the kids make sure they get to class, teach them like proper studying skills, and make sure they take all their quizzes. And she's on them a lot, stuff like that. And you can tell she really cares about it. So she's like the best part of that show. But she's no longer with the school.
Hmm.
In fact, a lot of people are no longer with the school and say, well, I can see why. The head coach is kind of the guy that pushes people away. And then I watched something that's pretty funny. You guys should check it out. It's called Brad Paisley Comedy Rodeo.
Oh, I heard about that.
It was really
Where
funny.
did I hear about it?
I don't know.
Oh, Facebook.
Brad Paisley's pretty funny.
He does have some funny songs. I know you don't know
He
that because you don't listen to country
Changed
music.
some of his songs. All the songs, even the ones that aren't normally funny, changed to be funny.
Oh, cool.
He actually said most of the songs start out as kind of funnier songs when they're writing them, and then they make them more serious.
Yeah.
That's what we do with the podcast.
There's really funny comedians that are on there too.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking of
really good.
watching that sometime.
I would check it out. It's really well done. I like all the comedians. I chose written down names of them because I want to go check out, see if they have other specials. Only one of the comedians looks familiar to me. But check it out. It's good. And then I listened to a couple podcasts, but yeah, football season. I did consume some heads-up football training from USA Football, so I'm now certified as a
Cool.
tackling certified, I guess, for head coaches.
You can now
So
tackle people
I
on
know
the
how to
street.
teach people how to tackle.
Oh,
They changed the way they're tackling this year from previous
Oh.
instruction. So before, you used to, like, when you'd lead, try to put your head across their body, so you're attacking their outside. With your kind of shoulder in the middle, head outside of them, and then wrap up. Now they're teaching you the near shoulder, so keep your head on the side you're at already, which is actually a way the Seattle Seahawks tackle. That's how they teach their players. And you're basically attacking thighs, so you go through their thighs and wrap up. It's a safer way to tackle. It's just funny because they're talking whether they, or I was watching one video where they're trying to explain it. He's like, yeah, they've been tackling this way in rugby for 60 years. That's how they do it.
with no helmets.
In the last chance too, they're actually interviewing like I don't remember who it was. Might have been athletic director for the school that is the main focus, and one of the players had a concussion. He's saying, you know how we take care of this concussion problem? Take away players' face masks. I'd say take away their whole helmet. You'll have people stop hitting each other with their heads.
Yeah.
You'll probably cut down on concussions, and you'll cut down a lot of the violence and teach people proper technique and things.
Right.
Back to school, way back in the day when people were already playing with face masks, this community college, they, to intimidate other people, didn't wear face masks. Plus, they'll teach or see which people are tougher because you will have more blood in the game if that's the case. Broken noses and stuff.
Right.
But that's not concussions and not life-threatening.
Cool. All right. Does anybody have any nerd cred?
I might have some nerd cred.
You might.
It seems kind of nerdy. So, as our listeners may know, I've got a wedding coming up.
Are you the maid of honor?
No, I'm the groom.
Oh. That's not
I
as...
can't really tell by looking. Wait,
You trying to say I didn't groom myself today? So it's just over a week from when we're recording this.
You should have done on the
So-
eclipse.
No, I don't want to be stuck in traffic trying to get to the wedding. Anyway,
Yeah, but where are you getting married in the eclipse?
That's
I
zone?
true.
know,
It
but
is
it's
in the
cool. If you
eclipse
plan it
zone.
at the right time.
Get
I
married.
love you so much, I can make the sun go away. Take that part of your pals.
well, we are having it as
If you let us go,
sunset.
I'll bring back the sun.
If, if you say I do, I'll bring back the
The
sun.
sun.
Yeah. Anyway, we were discussing music for the wedding, like what kind of music we wanted as, the procession's going on, walking down the aisle.
Heavy metal.
And so we started with the serious one, Canon in D major or something like that. Maybe
The
it's
wedding
minor.
march?
It's not the traditional wedding march, but it's a similar type thing.
Is there cannons involved?
No, but that would make it cool.
That'd be cool.
So, but then I started
We could
giving
build a
other
cannon.
suggestions. I'm like, what about the Superman theme? And then it went on from there. The Wonder Woman theme from the Linda
Batman.
Carter days. Yeah, Batman was included.
No, 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 no,
Yeah. We had, Harry
Bears.
Potter, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Da, 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 da. I was a close second. We almost picked that one.
Ooh.
So they settled on Darth Vader's Death March.
That was the
Dun,
first one that
dun,
we said, hey, maybe we should do this one. And so her and I were talking on Skype. We're each on our phones, like finding these songs like Jaws. Anyway, it was quite funny and
That's funny.
fun, hilarious. So, but we did decide on a classical music one. So.
So my nerd credit is I had a new amplifier and I tore it all apart my sub enclosure and built the new one, and the subs are hitting high or tight and just hard. It's awesome. It sounds so good.
Cool. You'll
What?
have to give us a right. You have to give us a
And
demonstration.
now if I do
of it.
phone and the unlimited internet, I can just hit Pandora and it streams it from my phone to my deck.
That's awesome.
It's very nice.
Cool.
I remember when I had some nice speakers. They were the ones that our friend gave us, or gave me. They were
The tall ones.
the tall ones, and they could really have loud bass going in that. So.
But it sounds awesome.
I bet.
It smells a little bit like the sealant I used for the top. And I got to do a very technical and difficult carpentry maneuver because I had the top of the box and I wanted to cut an opening in the top. And so I was like, why don't you just drill a hole? It's like, because I want to use the piece I cut out as the lid to go back in there, like a pumpkin. So I got to do a plunge cut with my circular saw 4 times. So you rock it up on its, front of the metal or the thing it rides on,
The
guide, so the blade's off.
guard, or maybe.
No, it's the slide. I don't know. Anyway, so
Slide
the blade's
it up.
off. You fire it up, get it going. So the blade's spinning, and circular saws aren't like touchy-feely, like gentle saws. They are very aggressive.
Mhm.
So I very
get
carefully had to
after it.
then just take it
They're
while
the
this
same
blade's
Jimmy
spinning,
of power tools.
line it up with my cut line, and just drop it and plunge it into the wood to cut through. So I had to do that 4 times, but there's 4 sides of this thing. Once I had that, then I just dropped the blade of my jigsaw down into it and
Mhm.
cut to the corners. And it turned out really good. There's a little bit, the circular saw blade's wider than the jigsaw a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but all that extra cut is on the cover part. So I might just go through and like sand nice little rounded double edge on that, then a matching one on the car side.
Cool.
Then figure out how to make a handle maybe for it so I can pull it off. Because instead of having my amplifier displaying like I did before, I just got it inside the box.
Mm.
But I wanted to have a lid so I can get it off so I can get to the wires. Plus
Right.
I'm going to add another amp to control the rest of the speakers in my system.
Oh.
So if you ever hear a loud thumping stereo going
That's
down the
me.
road, just think of how much carpentry went into that. Probably.
And unlike some people that
Carpentry.
try to do that, you won't hear my license plate rattling because I sound deadened it.
Smart move.
Although at one point I thought my car was falling apart, which it actually was. Not
You
for
had
this
it that
time,
loud, huh?
but previously, yeah, it had loosened the screw that was holding on my rear or
Bumper?
tail light.
Oh.
So I had to pull that open and figure out. And I found the very loose nut that I tightened.
I've had a headlight fall off going over Washboard Road before. It was
Just
weird.
fall out.
Yeah, it just kind of fell out. And like,
I've had my eyeball do that.
how did that happen?
Running on a washboard road.
Yeah.
Was
I haven't
that
seen.
before you got your retina replaced?
Yes.
All right, I guess that means we're in the feedback segment.
Just so.
On Pinterest, Mom liked our G.I. Joe
Yes!
board.
Wow.
I should
We
have more
should figure out how to
pins.
get on there.
I think I set it up. I could probably
Did you?
figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my old passwords. I could probably come up with what it is.
On Twitter,
Twitter.
we had a lot of talk with Matthew from the,
We, the show.
the show, yeah.
The Royal We.
Matthew from the, formerly of the Passersby, now of the
Oh, 'cause-
Waffle.
Was it because he outed us on his
One of the
Twitter?
things was, he said, oh crap, they're putting out a stinger that they're not happy that I leaked their location.
It's been a running joke for 4 years. Come on.
Yeah.
Some of us care more than others.
And then we talked about him designing a logo for us.
Oh, cool.
So, thought that would be cool. Told him my idea and basically said, if you have any better ideas, I'm all yours. So,
Ooh.
Actually, the main
We
reason
could
that
put
we
3 ears arranged to that.
we do talk about ears in our theme song.
I was gonna say the main reason that we went Nerds Anonymous is no longer relevant. So,
I could do a mashup of all of our faces.
oh, that sounds horrible.
Please don't.
This is because my second wife likes the podcast way more than my first wife did.
That's right. That was the original reason. I was like,
Yes,
my wife doesn't care.
she was worried that friends of hers would hear would come across my show and
know it was
know
you.
that her husband was a nerd. So,
Oh, my wife said leaves no.
gee, I wonder why the marriage didn't last. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, my wife has no qualms about me being a nerd, but I also recognize that she's the least nerdy person I know.
Well, I think if people are consistent listeners, they probably know all of our real names by now.
Yes, because we slip up now and then.
No, they're called Easter eggs, not slip ups.
Yes, they're
Okay,
Easter eggs.
Donald.
Oh, you're giving false
Come on,
flags.
Daffy.
Daffy. What does that make me? Darkwing?
No,
Scrooge?
Louis.
no,
No, I want to be Huey.
Huey.
crap, I can't remember it. It's,
Oh.
Babu.
Crap. It
Name
would have
another
been funny.
Oh,
Darkwing Duck. Count Duckula. I had them do the comfy sofa.
I can't think of it.
was it a duck?
Yes.
Was it a cartoon duck?
Yeah, it was a large duck.
A large duck.
Yeah.
There's a large duck.
Was it human sized?
There's a duck McDucky soup. Large
I want a
cartoon
new
duck.
duck.
Baby
One that
Huey.
One that
Baby.
won't quack all night. Oh my goodness. That would have been
The
rude.
likeness is.
Oh, so when I said
Good
Huey,
thing I
that
didn't
was
say that.
species duck.
Herman Howard.
Rabbit season. Duck
We call you
season.
Howard.
Abilities, strength, clumsiness, near invincibility, naivete, idiocy.
Aw,
That's harsh.
Good. I'm glad I didn't say that now.
I only have one of those.
Near
Idiocy.
invincibility,
Naivete.
clumsiness.
Strength.
Spells don't count for it.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh.
If you want to contact us, send an email to engineerdyshow@gmail.com.
Character.
You can
Oh.
find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Maid of honor.
You can comment and rate on things you listen to us on.
Great rate.
Probably won't see them unless it's iTunes.
Great rate.
Or you can go to
We might not see those either because we'd be blind from the eclipse.
you can now go to theengineerdyshow.com where you can click through to Amazon, and hopefully I'll have time to get some things on there, like maybe a place where you can subscribe to a newsletter of
That'd be
some
cool.
sort. I forgot. I was supposed
Yeah,
to do
people
that.
have gotten to the point they're actually coming up to me at work
If you want the newsletter, you can just email us.
at enginerdyshow.
Or find
No,
DVD at work.
Enginerdy@gmail.com.
Yes, and I always check that to make sure there's no one that has wanted it.
Oh, and you could probably ask on Twitter too.
Yes, someone will get me the information.
Me.
Or if you get Randy Moss to tweet it, I'll see it.
Wait, who didn't you say someone else is following you?
Yes, the Gin
The
Blossoms.
Gin Blossoms. Found out about
When's their
you.
birthday? Oh, just kidding.
They're still touring.
Yeah.
I want
So
to go
is
see
Def
them.
Leppard.
Yeah, they're really good too.
So is your mom.
They should do that together.
My mom's touring?
I don't know.
Oh,
She was up here recently.
I know, I saw her.
That was just last Sunday.
I would have, but there was an eclipse. So we'll talk about it.
Total eclipse
She was-
of the far.
What? She was obscured by the